Fucking Tatum with his.
We are live, NBA rundown time, runpuresports.com, the place to be the best in sports gambling and daily fantasy information. I'm here today with my guy, Tyler. We're always here Monday through Friday. We bring a special guest every week, Travis. Even though he's winning so much money on these props, he said, I don't need to pay for a light. I'm chilling in the dark. How you doing today, Travis?
I'm good. I see I got you guys in, I'd say regular season or even playoff form. We got Tyler tilted. We got spread, not happy about the Lakers. So I think we're in for a good one today. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll even mix in some Russell Westbrook and Rudy Gobert slander while we're at it.
I think we're going to have to. And Tyler, we could have done it.
Mangone, I could have a profitable day in this league every day, and I would still tilt this league.
Yeah, I mean this league can be tilting at times, but gotta embrace it. We'll get into it. I
embrace the tilt. That's what I embrace.
Tyler, a couple rules that we're gonna make. Of course,
we're never betting a Philly game against spread. I don't care if they go to the finals. We're done.
We can bet against them. I was telling Travis before we went on the air. And, I'm going to go ahead and single out your generation. What's up with your generation complaining on either real media or social media rather than just talking to the person? Joel Embiid pissed me off so much talking about, I didn't get the ball in the final 4 minutes. Why are you telling the guy from the Philadelphia Inquirer? Why didn't you tell your teammate? Why didn't you tell your coach? Why didn't you demand the ball? And I was also telling Travis, and I get to go back, and too bad Mikey's not here, but we know what's going on here. It goes back to the reason we love Michael Jordan, the old guys, right? When they first started being able to mic up these huddles, right? This is a playoff series, mid-90s. Phil Jackson's calling up the play. Jordan just yells, just give me the damn ball, walks out of the huddle. That's what happens. He gets the bucket. Embiid, he did this to Ben Simmons too. Why don't you talk to him on the court? You want to complain to the media about all these guys? I'm so pissed about the effort from the Philadelphia 76ers last night. You go ahead and rant, and then Travis, start stretching because you got a pretty long victory lap to take.
I don't got much left in me, spread. I mean, you had people on Twitter slobbing over a guy who made 3 shots in a game. They thought he was the best player in the world. Then the dumb motherfucker had the nerve to get on the mic and go, humbly, I'm the best basketball player in the world. Buddy, you couldn't have hit a barn if I handed you an RPG and stood you 10 feet from it yesterday. You made 3 shots at the end of the game, and you're like, I'm the best player in the world. Shut the hell up.
I mean, he said one of the best
player
he said one of the best.
Leave you. The best player on your team is trying to leave you. That's how good you are, humbly.
Jaylen Brown not the best player.
I don't think that Travis is going to agree with any of this. Travis, your thoughts last night on your Boston Celtics pissing me and Tyler off. And I don't know what we're more pissed off about. Is it losing the money or the fact that we trusted the 76ers?
I trust one team in that city now, and it's the Eagles. I don't trust the Phillies. I don't trust the 76ers. And whatever other fucking teams they got on that side of the state.
They got some hockey team that might be all right. I don't know.
I think they suck.
No, the Flyers aren't good. So
okay. See, what do I know?
So yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. So for one, everyone was burying the Celtics, right? Like they're down 3-2, and during the game, I wasn't the happiest about how it was going, but down 3-2, everyone wanted to just say they're out. And here's the thing. Philadelphia still has to close it, right? And the Celtics still have to do it too. They have issues, but the Sixers have huge issues, right? The Sixers can't close a game. I don't think the Celtics have the close the game problem. I think the problem they have is their hole, and I think every single team that's left has some type of hole. The Celtics hole is they fuck around too much, and then they have to find out, right? It's just simple. They mess around. It's ridiculous, and I think Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. The one thing about Jaylen Brown that I think is his hole in his game is I think he isn't as complete as Jason Tatum is. Like, for instance, Jason Tatum was 0 for 10 in the first half, right? If you go back and watch that first half, and this might be a hot take, I thought he played pretty well for missing a million shots. Like,
we're listening to Doris Burke.
She said the same exact thing on the low post today.
Because I think she was right too. Like, I noticed it. I noticed the defense. I noticed the passing. I thought it was right. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I felt like he was doing a lot of the right things. Now he looked horrendous when he put up a layup. Like, I'm not gonna back him on that. But one thing to call out with Tatum and actually like say is, you want your stars when they have really bad games to just show up, right? Like, we live in this like prisoner of the moment, like type of like environment now. And like, he showed up when he needed to. He didn't play a great game overall. Yeah, he could have played better, but he ended up getting the job done, right? When they needed it, when they were bleeding, when it was 83-81, they didn't get the ball back, right? Because they got the ball, except bounced off Robert Williams' head. They needed a bucket, right? And he went out and got the buckets for him. It's just simple. So I don't know. I've been a fan of what Tatum's been trying to do. Whenever Tatum gets the rebound, he pushes the pace. These other guys don't, and it tilts me so much.
This sounds like everything I shut my computer for last night, Spread. Like, you're just making me redo all this again.
I'm sorry. We just disagree. I don't know what to tell you. But to be fair, like, this Celtics team isn't as good as
what is the feel for Jason Tatum this morning if Embiid closes that game and your boy just doesn't make a shot the entire game? You guys vilify that man. You guys kick him out of Boston. I
don't kick him out.
That man if he doesn't win that game for you.
I don't kick him out, but I'm disappointed for sure. Like, I'm not like
all those people on Twitter that were like, "Oh my God, Jason Tatum's the best thing I've ever seen," would have been like, "This is the worst superstar in the NBA. Shouldn't even have the superstar title. Shouldn't make max money. Put him in the category with Ben Simmons." That would have been Twitter last night if they'd have lost that game.
Well, yeah, because Twitter says egregious things. I mean, that's, if you want like sensible things, Twitter's probably not the place to go to, if we're being honest.
Very true.
So like, that's one thing. Second, like, Tatum, I know you're playing the what if, but like, he did show up, right? Now let's see what happens in Game 7. The job's not done, right?
Sure about that?
It's not done. The job isn't done yet. Like, they won Game 6. It was great, but job ain't done. Like, they need to win this next one. And like, yeah, it's not over. So like, I think though the Celtics are the better team. I think the adjustment took a little too long to make to the Robert Williams thing. It worked out well. I want to see how Philadelphia counters. I think some things you might see with Philadelphia is, how do they use PJ Tucker minutes going forward? Because when you have Robert Williams, like, one thing I thought Maxey would have a pretty big game, like either Maxey or Tobias, just because what would happen is if you play Robert Williams and Horford, well, that corner like three or like on the wing, there's going to be dribble drives and open 3-pointers. And that's one reason I played Melton. It was Melton or Maxey. I was kind of trying to debate between. I mean, Melton missed 3 shots, right? Like 3 3-pointers in a row, absolute just choke air balls. So at the end of the day, there's going to be open shots for these Philadelphia 76ers. The question is, can they hit them, right? I mean, they just got to hit those shots. Are they going to play PJ Tucker? Is he going to make them? Who's going to make those shots? Because it's going to get tough. Philadelphia needs someone else to step up, because it's going to be hard for Embiid to score with the way that Robert Williams is down there. Also, I know you want to rip on Jason Tatum, Tyler, but Joel Embiid, I mean, like Spread said, he didn't touch the ball for 3 minutes, and he looked like a clown last night.
I mean, I wouldn't even talk about that guy. I mean, that whole team just dead to me. Like, how do you sit there with the opportunity right in front of you? The team's dying in your face. All you have to do is finish them, and you just can't do it.
And they were up with 4, like maybe it was either 5:25 or 4 minutes, but it was like 83-81, ball bounced off Robert Williams' head, and like, that was the chance to literally destroy. Like
I've seen college teams pick up more. Like, oh, they're giving up on the other side. Like, let's end this. Better than the 76ers did last night. Like that.
But that's their identity. That's their problem. That is their identity. And there's teams that you like. There's not one team in this playoffs right now that you look at and you say they don't have some kind of hole or problem. Like, if I go through each team, Denver can't play defense. I like Denver. I think they're way more complete. They're not that good on defense.
Okay.
They're not that good.
We'll come back to that one.
I mean, again, if you're
want you to sort by fourth quarter.
I mean, spread. Do you not? I mean, are you counting this Sun series that much? Because once Chris Paul died, it changes things. But they're not. I'd say you can make the argument that Denver has the least holes of the teams we're going to get to. So I think the Warriors' humongous hole is obviously that they just can't win games on the road. Like I don't know how to explain it, but they're awful on the road. It's crazy. They have Steph who can bail them out, which is obviously nice. But the Lakers' problem is their offense looks kind of like the Sixers when they're trying to close games out in the fourth. It gets ugly. You know what I mean? That like when the game gets tight and it's like a 4-point game, it can get brutal. That offense looks pretty bad at times. So that's their hole. Who else am I missing? The Heat, obviously. I mean, the Heat have Jimmy Butler, who basically plugs all their holes. They have a lot of holes, right? Like they're just, I could go on and on, but the Heat have definitely, Jimmy's just been plugging him up, and we'll see how Jimmy does when he plays the Sixers or Celtics. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. But I think the Heat definitely have problems. I mean, they're playing 10 deep, right? I mean, when you're playing 10 deep, that's already not great. That's one thing we should say, spread. Mike Malone has made a great adjustment on. So we'll give him credit for that. He's made a really good adjustment with his 8 guys. The Celtics hole is they mess around too much, right? And they don't close the games out. You can make a case their coach is a hole if you want, for the people that want to hear that. There you go. And then the Sixers, they literally can't close games. They're chokers. Like it's just plain and simple. They scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. And we've seen this so many times from them. And people want to say the Celtics are a team that chokes. I don't see them as a team that chokes. I see them as a team that when they're a really good team, but when the game kind of gets tight, they don't really have like a plan. You know what I mean? I think that's one of their issues, where they don't know if it's Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to close the game out, and it just kind of gets ugly. So, and that's kind
all
of
right, Travis. Well, there's the man here at Run Pure Sports that is tired of this blatant Celtics homerism. We had to do it again. Rubio Dimes is back. He couldn't take it anymore. Rubio, what do you think of the apologies that Travis is offering for his team? What do you
can't
think
believe
of
it.
Coronation of Jason Tatum.
First off, thank you, Spread and Tyler, for having me. Your guys' opinion is so much more valuable than Mangone's apologist toward the Celtics. The Celtics don't choke. They just go down in the final 3 minutes and don't have a plan. That's the definition of choking, Travis.
No, it's not.
Oh,
it's
different. You've been apologetic to
they're not chokers like the Sixers. There's if you can't watch the Sixers and the Celtics and say there's not a difference between the way that team melts versus the Celtics. It's completely
I think one team's
different.
a huge favorite and one team has a wounded soldier being their MVP. You gotta scope out a little bit here.
Oh, okay. So you got to make excuses. Okay, Rubio.
Look, James Harden showed up in the clutch multiple times, and we saw the Celtics falter down the stretch. It's got to be one thing. It's got to be choking or coaching, and you're on the verge of neither. Come on, you can't be.
I don't think they're chokers. I think their problem.
You even said Jason Tatum played well yesterday.
That was the worst statement of them all. That was by far the worst statement of them all.
I said I thought his first half, his presence was felt. I think you could. He was noticeable on the floor.
There's a reason, because he kept missing, man.
Yeah, it's like, look at that guy. He just keeps fucking missing.
How many guys can go 0 for 10 and be plus? How many guys can have 0 points and go 0 for 10 and have a positive plus minus?
I mean, when you got 4 guys standing around you making every shot.
Well, yeah. Well, who's passing him? Who's pushing the pace?
Let's go check his.
It's literally what they're supposed to do. The Celtics' game plan is grab the ball, push the pace, find the open 3 while they can't rotate in their half-court defense. Am I the only one who has noticed that? Like, Spread, am I crazy? They're best in transition. When they get out in front, it's a bucket. When they're not out in front, that's the struggle. Their half-court offense has not been great. All their half-court offense has been is try to get the matchup on one of the worst defenders they can find. And if they can't find it, they just kick it around until the shot's open. Or if they don't get the open shot and the team plays great defense, they chuck up a bad shot and just hope it goes in. That's what their offense is in the half court. And that's why they're getting out in transition.
So their transition offense, I was listening this morning, and I'm going off the top of my head, so I don't know if I'm right. They were 116.95 offensive rating in transition. The problem was the 76ers were around 80 on their offensive rating in transition. So obviously the Celtics transition defense was pretty good, or the 76ers weren't taking advantage of the opportunities that they had.
But that's why you have to push the pace against them. If the Sixers push the pace, they would lose. If it was a game, if I told you the game is like 90-88, you assume the Sixers won the game. If it's 120-115, you'd assume the Celtics won the game with having Joel Embiid in. The reason why the Sixers won that one game, went by a high-scoring margin when Embiid was not in, is because they just sprayed a bunch of threes and they shot 45% from three.
And James Harden was super clutch.
Yeah, it was impressive for sure.
I will say this. My girlfriend can name 15 NBA players, and even she looked up at the screen yesterday after one of Tatum's misses and said, wow, Tatum, he keeps missing. And just one of those out of the blue comments.
You're only judging shots, though. You're not watching you're just thinking about shots. He played great defensively. He made smart passes when he was supposed to. I admitted, he looked horrible trying to put a layup up. He looked like me trying to put a layup up. He looked like you, Rubio.
I will say this. You're giving me the full Ricky Rubio argument.
Every other facet of his game was an A. It was like A. Shooting was a D or an F. We'll go F.
Yeah, it sounds like a Ricky Rubio performance. I can sympathize with that. Just the shooting, but everything else was there, Mangone. Everything else was there.
I mean, again, the other thing, too, is he shot really poorly, and then he stepped up when he needed to. And stars do that, Rubio.
Is Jaylen Brown a star? I don't think he is. I'm looking at it right now.
I think Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum.
I mean, we're going all over the place now.
Well, I got to say this. Jaylen Brown took a complete backseat despite Tatum struggling. That spoke volumes yesterday. I thought that was the biggest storyline, was that Jaylen Brown, despite Jason Tatum's struggle.
You know what that was, Rubio? He had 1 foot out the door. He's like, we're dead.
I think so, too.
He looked at it. He's like, oh, we're going to lose this game. Like,
he doesn't want to be there.
I'm out of here regardless. He was just like, all right, go ahead, shoot yourself into a grave.
Yep, and that's been the past 2 games.
He's shooting.
I don't think he wants to be there too. I think that's the best. That's the unspoken storyline here. Is this the Celtics' last ride? Are they wasting with Mazzulla? Was it Brad Stevens who made the call to start Rob Will last game? All these storylines.
Well, so my laugh about the last ride thing is like, you guys act like if Jaylen Brown leaves, like the team is dead. Like the team will be fine. Like they'll completely figure it out. Like, yes, they will. Well, how do you want to wager this? Let's come up with a wager because you're going to be wrong.
It's
very simple.
They'll still be a good team,
like, I'm just telling
but they're not going to be title favorites without them. Like they're not walking in preseason
title favorites
without them.
You have no idea what their other option coming in will be, though. Like you're just assuming he walks.
I don't think they're bringing something back.
No one feels the millions of dollars, right? Like they have a very good baseline. Now, Al Horford getting a year older, yeah, that would obviously hurt. He's also on a contract that it's pretty favorable, right? To be getting paid like I think $10 million he gets. Robert Williams has a pretty nice contract though. He's getting paid around like 12 to 13 million. I think it scales up to 14 million. So that's a nice
the durability of like a dead wooden stick. Like I could break it with my pinky.
Oh yeah, but that's why he gets paid, 12 million, 13 million. That's why he doesn't get
Smart getting miles on his legs. Like he might be on his way out too.
Who might be on their way out?
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart, I don't see him on his way out. I mean, it just depends. Also, Marcus Smart gets paid a lot, and he does a lot of great things for us. But again, people will go play with Jason Tatum. Perfectly fine with it. Like the Celtics would be fine. Jaylen Brown leaves. Yes, no one's arguing that it doesn't hurt that team, but the Celtics will be fine, and they'll find other replacements to join the team.
So, like the next level of success, is that what you consider fine?
They'll be way better than
Rubio's for your.
I mean, Rubio.
The addition of Rubio on Fridays, Tyler. One of the best things that we've done. Great job to my co-host.
He's just wrong. Rubio, if you're so confident, let's go. I got the Celtics money line for straight up $100. You got the Sixers money line. Sunday. There we go. Straight up.
Straight up. I'm not talking about this.
Why would he bet you?
He's about to.
Why would he take plus 100 from you when he can get plus 230 online?
That's what I'm wondering too. Like I'll give good lines.
Rubio's sportsbook's the most generous thing in the world. You're
because that's what happens when you talk. He's talking like the Celtics are dead and they're terrible.
This is
I gave you 20 to 1 once on this show.
Is Titletown feeding you? Are you just reading from Titletown?
Yeah, that was a title bet right there.
I'm just asking. You could say no. It's up to you.
Bet me a plus 230 team at plus 100, please.
I'll say this: if he's so confident, he should give me Sixers 4-1.
I mean, Rubio Sportsbook would probably give him 8-1. So I mean, we're seeing the difference here.
Don't bet the Sixers, Rubio. That
if he gives me 4-1, I'll take it.
We thought Jaylen Brown was on his way out the door when it looked like they were going to lose. The 76ers did the Simpsons thing. They walked in, they looked, and they spun around and just walked right back out the door. They're like, we don't want this. They're not showing up in Game 7.
God.
All right. Here we are. We're on the NBA rundown. Of course, we are going to break down tonight games. This is brought to you by RunPureSports.com, the best in sports gambling and daily fantasy information. The NBA playbook continues to crush. You have bets on the sheet. Of course, you have access to coordinators in the Discord. And, of course, you get access to Mangone's 3 max plays, the cores, the up to lock shows that are premium. RunPureSports.com, the place to be. Let's talk about, though, so this is the NBA rundown, right? We're going to break down the games, but it's also my chance to vent. So my first thing I wanted to vent about was Embiid basically calling his buddies out in social media rather than just talking to them face-to-face. Great job, Gen Z, X, whatever you guys are, right? Like, don't bother telling the guy in the huddle, I need the ball. You know, wait till afterwards and tell the overweight reporter.
Do we consider Spread a boomer? Like, does he fall into that class?
Yeah, I am. Call me a boomer. I'm fine with that.
Below that.
The most jacked boom. Oh, I don't have my short sleeve shirt on. Anyways, I'm jacked under this shirt. My second vent, though, is people trying to fire Monty Williams for last night. Oh, you want to fire Monty Williams because he couldn't get it done with Landry Shamet, Torrey Craig. Who else was out? I mean,
they had the floor cleaners running around with KD and Booker, Spread.
Yeah, I mean, that trade, it shows you how much depth matters. And I know that ESPN wants to put Steph and LeBron on tonight's game like we're watching a one-on-one game, but it's not like that. The Nuggets have a team. The Phoenix had two stars, and they didn't know how to play with each other. Everyone said, oh, DeAndre Ayton doesn't matter. Well, might have helped you a little bit there. And so I guess if you want to discredit Monty Williams for his relationship with Ayton, yeah, but a lot of that was caused by the front office as well, right? I don't know. He's supposed to go up and clean up all the front office's mistakes. So, yes, I understand that was embarrassing for Phoenix. I understand if you're a Suns fan, you have to be embarrassed by 2 elimination games, combined 60 points, losing. That's rough, but I don't think it's fair to call for Monty Williams' head. I still think he's one of the best coaches in the NBA. Tyler, what do you think?
I mean, you can't fire a guy when he had his – like, the owner's not going to fire his head coach when the owner pushed the trade through, ruined the roster basically to get KD there. Knew he did it because he said it before. He's like, I had the chance to get KD. I didn't want to trade those guys, but it's KD and I have him for 3 years.
Yep.
Pair him with Booker. They're not going to fire anybody. The GM's not going anywhere. The coach isn't going anywhere. They're just going to go into the offseason. They know they have to pick up guys in free agency. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go spend money in free agency. We talk about guys wanting to go play with Tatum, or would you rather go hang out in Phoenix where it's nice and warm and you can play with KD and Booker?
Yeah, and be on West Coast time too, Travis. Don't have to start watching these West Coast baseball games at 10:30 p.m. Your thoughts on the Nuggets and the Suns, Travis?
Well, I told you before the series the Nuggets would win. There were some injuries, but I did say that, so I'm going to victory lap that.
Bro, are you ever wrong?
I mean, I've done.
I think you can afford a light.
I've done decent, but I am wrong at times. I was wrong about the Kings, but they competed, but they didn't get the 20-1. I had to pay Rubio lunch, but anyways, yeah, I think the Suns. Let's not go for Monty's head. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. DeAndre Ayton sucks. I mean, what can you do? You try to trade him. You see what.
They look pretty bad without him in the lineup.
I mean, yes, Fred. When you have Bismack Biyombo and Jock Landau, and you are allocating a max contract to DeAndre Ayton, and you can't allocate it to anyone else, yeah, you're going to look bad. When a dude who was stocking shelves at Costco last year is going up against Nikola Jokic, yes, you're going to struggle. Like, it's just simple. There's nothing you can do about it. Also, KD and Booker's legs are dead, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, KD looked tired in that game. He did the old he put the hands on the knees and kind of it was good. I was laughing because he looked like the McDonald's lady gif, right? Or meme. He was exhausted. So they'll be fine. They're just gonna go to free agency. Who knows? Maybe they do trade Chris Paul. They're gonna probably attempt to, but who knows what they can actually get back and what that'll do. I think the key to the Suns making a run is if you have Chris Paul on that roster, you need to manage his minutes very well. Like, you have to be like in round 1, round 2, you have to be like, he can't play 36 minutes, like regardless. You have to be like, he can only play 30 or whatever number you make it early on. And if you lose a game because of it, you lose a game because of it. Because the only way you're going to get to the finals is with him. Like, you're not going to win the finals with Chris Paul getting all that money and sitting on the bench hurt. So that's one thing I think they have to kind of manage very well if they're going to get back. But they'll be fine. They'll figure it out. Who knows? Maybe they'll do a sign and trade for Kyrie Irving and ship off DeAndre Ayton to the Mavericks. Not saying I like that deal, but that makes sense.
I think that's what they'll end up doing. Another thing that pisses me off when people try and act like CP3 is better than John Stockton. How many playoff games did John Stockton miss? I mean, at some point, not being there when it matters has to count for your legacy. Rubio, what did you think of that game?
I was originally thinking that, maybe we'll get another KD Booker performance, but it was clear the miles were on their legs were way too much. I mean, KD missing his first, 1 for 10 to start. And I was looking up on Twitter beforehand because we play Showdown all the time. I was trying to get Coach speak on who would be the guy who could potentially fill that small ball 5 if they went that route, which they ended up doing with Torrey Craig. And the entire time I kept looking up Monty's name. The amount of fans who wanted him fired before Game 6 even started was astounding to me. I just couldn't believe it at all. And I think they should keep him. I mean, I was kind of against the Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson trade, and it was clear they lacked spacing almost the entire series. I mean, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig lost his minutes. Okogie, too. I mean, they had to play Shamet for spacing, Terrence Ross. TJ Warren had a terrible series, too. I mean, it was really just lack of depth. And I think Monty didn't want Ayton at all. And I think this is kind of one of those things where Monty and the front office disagreed and stuff. Maybe if there was an out there, it'd be like, well, I don't really want to coach Ayton because it's not technically a firing, right? His contract expired. Does he want to return? I mean, that could go both ways here because he's fresh off 3 great years. I mean, honestly, this season was kind of a little bit of a wash with all the injuries. Chris Paul getting up there in age, Ayton with the whole drama with Monty Williams and KD's injury too late in the season. You never had a chance to gel. I mean, they're fresh off a finals appearance, and then 64 wins the next year, and then this year. I mean, I think it would be terrible to completely just go away from Monty. I think he's a great coach with y'all. I mean, we just saw the specialness of Jokic. I'm so glad the Nuggets figured it out from their end of season lows to now. It's the best basketball out there. I don't care who they face, whether it's the Lakers or Warriors. It's going to be a great series, and it was really, really fun, that Suns-Nuggets series. Just that last game was a disappointment for fantasy purposes.
All right. Yeah, it was a pretty fun series overall, the highest scoring series, and it was really exciting until, of course, the blowout in Game 6. Do we have anything more from last night's game or the NBA in general before we dive into tonight's game? I mean,
the last game was just a butchering. It was over after the first quarter.
Yeah, it was ugly.
I was sitting at work watching it with a buddy. I was like, yeah. He's like, where are you going? I was like, this game's over. First quarter, they're up by 20. I was like, they're not looking back.
I was like, it's telenovela time. Let's go. I had it on the other screen, but muted that thing. That thing was over.
Our guy Big T's in the chat. I know he loved that Nuggets win last night.
Adam G's just trolling me. Adam G's sitting here just killing me. Adam G, the new Mikey here. Jokic is going to run circles around Wilt Chamberlain. Unbelievable. Let's dive into tonight's game. The New York Knicks are +6. They're in Miami taking on the Heat. Tyler, our total's 207.5. What are your thoughts?
I'm not betting a total in this series because these games have been ugly, so we're going to cross that off right off the bat. I mean, I'm convinced that the magnets were turned on in the rim last game for the Knicks because I've never seen so many jump shots bounce off the rim and look like they were going to fall away. And they take 3 more bounces and fall right in the hoop. So I'm going to pull that card. But, I mean, this Knicks team, I don't think it's all that good. I know it's my favorite team. But Brunson's the only real good player to me. Randall's just kind of out there running around. I don't trust Quentin Grimes out there on the road. The Heat should be able to win this game, but I'm not looking to lay 6.5 spread. So I'm probably coming in on like a Bam double and win performance double, or like a Bam 12+ rebounds because he's crushed it on the board. So that's how I'm looking to come at this game.
All right. What are your thoughts on this game, Travis?
Yeah, I'd say the number now is like a little tougher for sure to get. It was 4 before. The 4 definitely was way better. If I had to pick, it's Heat or nothing, right? Like I would not. There's no chance I would lay the Knicks side. No chance in my mind. So I do think that the Heat are going to get the job done tonight. Brunson's going to have to play 1,000 minutes. I mean, Julius Randle sucks. He sucks at home. He's going to really suck on the road. So
he's an All-NBA player.
He should not be an All-NBA player, but that's okay. He has 2 All-NBAs, which is absurd. He should not have 2 All-NBAs. That is the product of a bad regular season, of just people sitting. And if you really think that he's an All-NBA player, spread, we could start doing a fantasy basketball draft, and you could take Julius Randle very early, okay? Because he sucks. He's
in fantasy, he's okay.
I guess in fantasy, I'll give you that.
In fantasy, he gives you like 25 and 10.
If we're starting pretend basketball teams, trying to win a championship.
I've seen Julius Randle in a lot of cores this season at runpuresports.com. Of course, get those cores. Use that promo code SPREAD15, 15% off. You can find out who Travis is playing in 3max. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Had to get that out there.
It was a great segment. I will not be playing Julius Randle in my core. I will tell you that right now. I've been fading him the whole series. I'm going to continue to fade him. I hope. Let me see. Does he have ownership today? No, not as much. People are adjusting to it. That is very unfortunate. But obviously, Grimes at his price of 5-1 is going to be intriguing, just because he played 1 million minutes, right? I mean, and he's guard and forward eligible. That's always encouraging. Jalen Brunson's a really good spin. One of the big struggles to have tonight is you're going to want to play 2 studs probably. Maybe. I mean, 3 is hard, but you can make 3 work. So, like, the ones that I'm deciding between are Brunson, Jimmy, Davis, LeBron, and then I guess it's all of them then, I guess, and then Curry. How do you narrow it down? Well, I don't include Randall, but how do you narrow it down, right? Like, that's the big debate. And I think the starting point is Brunson's a tough fade because of his minutes, right? He's going to play 48. They don't have a backup point guard. So, like, it's him. There's no quickly, like, he's just going to play 1 million minutes. So, he feels kind of someone that, like, becomes a priority. It's very hard to fade Jimmy, but they are at home. You can make a case that the role players playing better at home could make it where Jimmy's not forced to play as much. If you think the game's competitive, you probably want to have Jimmy for that closeout fourth quarter. If it's not competitive, then you're not going to get that really good Jimmy closeout fourth quarter, which could be tougher, but he could still get 50 plus. And then deciding between Davis and LeBron is interesting. I think you can make the case that Davis is the better play matchup wise, but LeBron's just not going to have as much ownership, right? Like, that's so if you want to play the ownership game, I'd have to see if positions do matter when I do that, because positions could matter where I end up landing on Davis instead. And then you got to make a decision on what on earth you're doing with Curry, because if Andrew Wiggins is limited, I mean, Curry's going to have to do everything. So it feels like the ranking to me is like, I don't want to fade Jimmy, but because I played him pretty much every game, but it would probably be Brunson 1, Curry 2, and then one of the Lakers 3. Because I think the Lakers do win, which I don't know. It's a really hard decision point, but I think in this game for sure, if I had to pick one, it's Brunson over Butler. Even though I think the Heat do win. It's just he's gonna play so many minutes. It just doesn't matter. Like, he's gonna play 48 probably again. Maybe not 48.
I think if you do that, you can get pretty chalky. I think a lot of people are going to choose another way. What do you think, Rubio?
I mean, yeah, Tibbs rolling out Grimes and Brunson for 48 minutes. So when I was originally making my build, like, I was going through it all and like, I really don't want to pay $9K for Brunson. And then I kept looking at those minutes. I mean, Curry sometimes gets into the low 40s if you're lucky. And that Lakers defense is just really good too. I mean, if Brunson's playing 48 minutes with Randall, who's just sucking, I mean, the amount of usage that Jalen Brunson had was just absolutely crazy. I mean, the fact that he was able to put up 57 with like no stocks at all, or was it 57 with more than that even? Like, it's kind of telling, because what if he gets a few steals this game? What if he gets a few blocks? Like, some of this negative regression could just be countered by, him getting some steals and blocks too. So I'm with you, Travis. Like, Brunson's number 1 now, and I think RJ Barrett could even be in line for another 40 minutes. He shot the ball, what was it, like 17 times last game? So he's 6'5" too. You're going to get probably 40 minutes from him, and then Quentin Grimes 48 minutes too. I mean,
I don't think Grimes 48 are as safe because Hart was in foul trouble. But I don't think they're as safe, but I think his minutes are secure for a pretty strong amount of minutes.
And that's the thing. I mean, I think Grimes gives you that shooting, and he also defended really well too. I mean, I think that's the big thing. And you're probably right. I mean, Grimes, maybe he gets decked down a little bit, but I think the key is just maybe less Randall minutes if he's just going to struggle like he has been. And last game was a lot better, I have to say. He did play a lot better. But the game before that, I mean, he was the reason why they were losing. It just felt like. But when you have Tibbs ready to play guys 48 minutes, you don't just say no to that. So I think I'm going to have
Robinson minutes are more of a problem, I'd say, than the Randall. Like, I'd rather them go smaller and have the floor spaced than. And even though I'm not a huge Randall guy, like, it's just. I think the Mitchell Robinson minutes are sort of.
I'm with you. But Tibbs has never. He just doesn't want to go small. He did it at garbage time of that one game, and even like Hartenstein. Hartenstein played 26 minutes the game I played him, and I was so excited, and he did absolutely nothing. I mean, and why do it when Brunson's clicking in the offense and stuff? You know, it's literally a 2-man game or even a 1-man show right now with Brunson. But I think you're right. I would prefer to see them go small, but that's just not something that they're doing. M-Rob and Hartenstein splitting the minutes. I do want to say Vincent's got to be in line for some positive progression. I mean, his shooting has been absolutely garbage the first 5 games of this series. If he just hits, he starts off each game like 1 for 5, 1 for 6. If he just starts off, hits a couple more of his shots, I can see him crushing and at like no ownership. And that's a guy that I know Bobby has been on. And I always I see what Bobby's doing. He's been right. And we're due for some positive regression from Gabe Vincent. Well, I do it for a 4 straight game running. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, Bobby and I have been on the Vincent idea for a while, and it's
you guys were crushing it at the end of the last series too. In Game 5 against the Bucks, you crushed.
The one issue you're going to run into with Vincent is he is splitting up Kyle Lowry minutes, and if he makes his shots, he plays himself into minutes. But just if he doesn't, it's brutal. But it's definitely more of a tournament play, and the price is getting a little better too. Like Lowry is 5.2, while Vincent is, let's see his price. Vincent is 4.8. And Gabe Vincent is like, he's one of those guys, when the ball's falling, he's going to keep chucking. It's going to snowball and be really good. So I am with you on the Vincent idea. I am considering betting his over. His points prop is 9.5. It's definitely low, but
it's even money too.
Yeah, there's reason to pause just because I do think his minutes are going to be like, for instance, like someone in the chat talked about Kevin Love. Well, Kevin Love probably doesn't close, right? Like normally their closing lineup is one of the guards in Lowry or Vincent. And it's more than likely Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Max Struss, and then Bam Adebayo. And Max Struss has been better, than these other guys. And he gets to shoot at home. Also, he's been the guy guarding Julius Randle a lot. As weird as it sounds, he's been on him on that back. Julius Randle always tries to back him down. And then the Heat like having Struss in there because Julius thinks it's a good idea to back down Max Struss. And then they throw a double team at him and he throws the ball in the other area. So it's like Max Struss's minutes, I think, are really good because they understand if we play Max Struss, Julius Randle goes on him, and then we can just double team him, and then he just looks like a disaster on offense. So I actually think Max Struss's minutes are more secure than like Gabe because of that alone. So like I do really like Struss, but and of course him being at home, a 3-point shooter at home, that's really good for him. His price is 4.9. He'll definitely be someone that I'm thinking about. But the problem with the Heat is like you could roster one of these guys and feel like you're just dead, and they go 10 deep, right? And that's not fun. So it's definitely something you really have to think about when kind of building out your lineups.
All right. Here's a couple props that I'm playing. Tyler, tell me your thoughts. Jimmy Butler over 6.5 rebounds. He's gone over that props 4 of his last 6 games. And during the 6 games, he's averaging 7.5 rebounds per game. We talked about elimination game. Minutes should be up for the starters. I like Butler over on the rebounds.
What number do you have that at, spread?
6.5 minus 124.
Minus what?
124.
Okay. I was curious because I considered that, but I was just wondering. Okay, cool.
All right. Next one, I'm going to go Julius Randle under 23.5 points. He's failed to go over 23.5 in 7 of his last 9 games. He's only averaging 16.8 points per game. So I could get killed by the minutes there.
Player, Julius Randle. Let's say that correctly. You're all NBA player, Julius Randle.
He's not my NBA. I'm not a voter.
I don't know. You sounded like you liked it. That's all.
Nah, I'm just trying to stir things up.
Yeah, you're just poking the bear. That's all. I just double checking. That's all.
Call me Dylan Brooks. I'm poking the bear, Travis. I'm gonna show up with no shirt on next time. Now what? All right.
You're out of Run Pure Sports. Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
Uh-oh. All right. Travis Mangone naming himself the LeBron James of Run to Pure Sports. Kevin Love is over 7.5 points. I played this one last time. I also actually doubled down and went over his 3-pointers. I figured they're correlated. But what was he? 0 from 7 from 3 last game in New York. I think he'll shoot better at home. I'd like him to go over 7.5. Tyler, your thoughts on my 3 props?
I love them all, except for the Kevin Love one, just because I don't like the volume on him. He could get that number pretty easily with the 3 balls falling. I don't want to sit here and just wait for him to shoot 3s, though, because he's not taking any other shots. The one prop I picked out in this game, Gabe Vincent, we talk about him. His assist number is 3.5. He's hit that number every game this series, every game in the Bucks series except for 2 when he had 2 and 3. So I know Lowry's eating some of those minutes, but he's going to play most of that point guard role. He could easily fall into 5 assists here, and then there's a performance double for him. 5+ assists, and they win the game, plus 220. I'll be on that also. I mean, you're getting a way better price there. They're laying the 6.5, and it's a prop he's hit a lot, so I'll play that.
All right. Anything more on this game before we move on?
Nope, that's it for me.
I don't even want to talk about this next game. I'm so glad Travis is here. It's the end of the line for the Warriors. It's going to be sad. Have a great time, Jonathan Nelson. I hope you and Kim Kardashian enjoy the game tonight, and you and all the other celebrities. But, boy, I really wanted to have hope. With that Andrew Wiggins injury, I think that's the door being shut there on this Warriors title run this year. I wasn't really as excited about them. I felt like I hate using this term, especially for a handicap where we do projections and we're trying to accurately think this, but the vibes are off, right? It feels like they never recovered from Jordan Poole being knocked out by Draymond, and the bench just isn't the same. They all missed so much time this year. They never really got together. And Klay Thompson, man, we talk about max contracts that are eating things up. And he's still a good player. He's a great catch and shoot player. But as a Warriors backer, every time he's trying to create his own shot, it's just so bad. It's just a forced contested 2 or a deep 3. He's really not able to do anything except for catch and shoot right now. Too much of the onus of this offense is on Steph. I don't think they can get it done. As much as I hate to say, Tyler, I mean, how are the Lakers only -3 here? What are your thoughts? You're muted.
That's a donkey move, but because LeBron hobbled off the floor spread, his ankle's messing with him. AD was in a wheelchair because Looney's out there throwing elbows like he's John Jones. So, I mean, there's a way that this Golden State – I see what you're doing. You're already trying to prepare yourself for depression. Like, there's a way this Warriors team wins this game and spreads all cheered up, and he's trying to get me to do a rundown on Sunday, which there's no chance in hell I'm doing a rundown on Sunday for a Warriors Game 7. Just
no, you got that. If they win, you got to run down on Sunday. You got to.
No chance. I told you I'm not watching that game. I'm sleeping all day on Sunday if they go to Game 7.
I wish
not dealing with that.
Maybe I can get Rubio here. Rubio's a team player.
Spread. We just had to deal with yesterday with all the Celtics lovers just slobbing their guy when he couldn't make a shot. The last thing we need is the Warriors slobbers coming back out after they beat a hobbled team. So we don't need that.
Yeah, because the Lakers fans are just so much better and more classy.
I think you're the only one here that has a problem with them. I mean, the guys haven't won anything in years. They won a bubble championship.
It's been 2 years.
Everybody in the world told them that bubble championship didn't count. So I think this fan base kind of deserves some winning, not the team that's won it.
They do not deserve – no. You know who deserves the Indiana Pacers?
Well, I mean,
that's
of course,
a fan base that deserves.
But they're not one of the 4 teams we're talking about left.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, right?
Nobody wants to watch Rudy Gobert win.
You don't deserve it. You don't deserve a chance to win a title when you make a bad.
We're talking about the fans, not the front office, Travis.
Well,
we're talking about people who showed up to root for Rudy Gobert all year.
Don't worry, that all NBA forward Julius Randle will be next to Rudy Gobert in that lineup next year, spread, and then we can root for them together.
Wait, what?
When they trade Cat for Randall and they swap them and Cat.
I'd rather have Randall.
I mean, that just lines up as the perfect trade for the Knicks to make to get him out of there. I don't like it, but it just lines up.
Who would you rather have, Travis?
Neither.
Yeah, just give me the salary.
Great, wonderful.
This
is like, when you have to eat like 2 gross foods. Like you have to choose one, or it's not a fun game.
I mean, if I have to, I'll pick Cap, but I'll send them both to Taiwan. They can both go play for the Shanghai Sharks.
Well, you're trying to send everyone to China.
Yeah, there's a lot of players I don't like that people like.
That's funny that you're trying to send everyone to China when there's only one player in tonight's game that has publicly supported China and their abuse of human rights. Rubio, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Oh man, I'm really cheering for the Warriors.
Yes, finally, I have a friend.
I have to say it. The Mickey Mouse ring back in 2020 does not deserve any credit at all. And LeBron, in my opinion, has 0 championships with the Lakers. No, I'm kidding, Tyler. But
Before you go more to that breakdown, Rubio, you see how quick he was to get out of his depression state the moment.
Yeah, he was super happy to hear someone, support
because dude, I've been getting ganged up on all week.
I'm a huge Wiggins guy. I'm like, Andrew Wiggins is great, and Mangone hates Wiggins. I I
don't hate Wiggins. You're wrong.
This is just disastrous. This guy right here is disastrous. I'll say.
There's a tweet out there I said that the Wiggins trade was a great trade for the Warriors. I can find the tweet for you. I can send it for you in a second. And I was backing the Andrew Wiggins deal and said it was a great deal and he's going to be a great fit for that team. And I got killed for that take.
I bet on Andrew Wiggins in Game 5. It came through, but Game 4, I just can't do it, But anyway, I will say this: that Wiggins injury is very concerning, and it might be like the same thing that Ayton was dealing with, where maybe it's just pain tolerance, but they say there's going to be issues with him shooting the ball. And that is worrying because I was all over him on DFS the past few games, and I'm still like all over him now. Now today, I'm like, oh man, that could be the blow that kind of knocks the Warriors out. Like you said, Spread. I mean, that could be the nail in the coffin. And I'm kind of worried about that if Wiggins can even show up because he showed physicality last game. He showed that presence that you always want to see from Wiggins, right? And if they don't have that presence today, I'm worried that the Lakers might be able to take this. But I'm going to be cheering. We doubted the Warriors in Game 7 last series, and Steph Curry showed up. I mean, this could definitely be something where there was a lot of doubt here. People were declaring the Warriors dead and stuff. I didn't want to say that the team they beat, just got a pure respect. But
he don't care about that team anymore, Rubio. He threw that team in the trash the moment they lost Game 7.
Yeah, he's just all anti-Lakers.
He was one of those fans where he had the Kings jersey on. And they lost, and he took it off. He threw it off the ground. He's like, damn, we lost. And he had a Warriors jersey on already.
All right. But
if you get dumped by a girl, do you want to sit at home and cry for her or just have another one you're ready to call?
Very true.
I think you're right, Spread. And what was also very appealing was that Kim Kardashian wore a shirt yesterday that supported all of us. She said, "I love nerds" on her shirt. And I told my girlfriend that.
Really?
And for some reason, she just laughed at me. But
it
said, "I love nerds." And I'm like, damn, Kim K really loves us. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. My favorite bet in this one, though, because I do like the fact that Jared Vanderbilt got subbed really early in the third quarter last game for Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder's minutes are on the uptick. I could see around 30 minutes again. I do like his 3-point prop over 0.5 because he's taken 5 and 6 threes in Game 4 or Game 3 and Game 5. So the 3 attempts are there. It's decent value. I think it's even money even. Yeah. Oh, it's just a little less than even money. When I looked earlier today, it was minus 140. So now it's shifted to minus 180. So maybe not that great of value anymore.
What is it at? I'm pulling it up right now.
Minus 180 now. It was minus 140.
I hate when they do that. Just move it up a 3.
Well, with Wiggins the other day in Game 5, I bet his rebounds and points, and they were both minus 140, minus 155 even with the rebound one. I'm like, God, this sucks because you're not getting.
I got minus 173. That's rough. Anthony Davis is plus 298. All right, Tyler, how are you approaching this game from a betting perspective? Are you going to play the side? Are you going to play the total? I might bet the Lakers. We'll start with you.
Well, I'll go back into breaking down the game. I didn't get to finish earlier. You jumped the Rubio. You just cut me off. But I'm going back to the Lakers. I know I said that the Warriors have a chance here, but I'm not betting the -3, the money line. I'm not playing that game. If they're going to win this game, it's on AD's back. They're not going to go out there and AD has a subpar game and they somehow squeak this game out, I don't think. If anything, he's going to roll out onto that floor tonight. All this talk about them guys laughing at him in the wheelchair and everything. If he's fine, you're going to get the 25-plus points, double-digit rebounds, multiple blocks. The double-double in wins, minus 110. The 25-plus points in win is plus 190. And the 30-plus points in win is plus 390. I'll be on all three of those. That's the way I'm approaching this game.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk about how disgusting it is that the Lakers aren't taking head injuries seriously, and they're putting their own selfish needs ahead of their players' health tonight. So hopefully this doesn't end in disaster. Travis, did you have any props or any more breakdown from this game?
Yeah, I don't think I broke this game down really at all. So definitely got to talk about it here. Lakers are -3. I took them. I just said it's fine. I'm jumping on them. I think the Warriors lose this game. The Wiggins injury definitely pushes it over the top for me. So yeah, Wiggins, that's just a big. I mean, even if he plays, I still think he's going to be banged up while playing. It's just going to be a little tough. He did play through it last game though. I think he got hurt in the first quarter, so he has the ability to play through it. But we'll see. I think it's going to be tough, especially being on the road. Those jump shots don't fall as easily, right? And Clay's jump shot is not falling. Is Draymond Green going to be able to get buckets like he's been able to on the road? I don't know. It just does not seem like a good spot for these guys. And when you're leaning on like Gary Payton and Moses Mooney to be like the pieces to kind of get it together, it just doesn't seem like it's going to get the job done. So I like the Lakers here. I do think you can get a pretty big LeBron game here. At home, like LeBron's not trying to go to game 7, right? Like he understands this is the closeout game. It ain't his first rodeo. He knows you put Steph Curry away. You do not leave a door open. Unlike the 76ers who can't close the door, LeBron James can. So I think LeBron helps close the door. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't see that stat line he talked about with Davis tonight as much time. I think you might just see him be really good defensively. But I think overall they're going to win the game. It's just Russell, you get him at home too. He shot better at home. Austin Reeves, you need him at home, right? He's a guy that he's going to be a way better player at home than on the road. He did play pretty well on the road last game. I'll at least give him credit for that. But like Lonnie Walker, another one, you want him at home. They have a ton of role players that they need to lean on, and it's a perfect setup for them. And these Warriors, what do? They don't get any fouls. Why do they get no fouls? Because they don't drive to the hoop. Let's not say the refs are not giving them calls. They don't drive to the hoop. And when you settle for all these jumpers all game and you can't make them on the road, well, good luck. You're just not going to win. If they have to rely on Jordan Poole, good luck with that too, because he's absolutely trash. So
I'd rather rely on a blind person to get me buckets than Jordan Poole at this point.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
This is by far the best comment of the entire show.
No, it's not. First of all, it's not even correct. His legacy is fine.
Shout out our guy Johnny.
Say he goes out there and pulls a Tatum, right? And
if
he's really good.
If he did what Tatum did last night, oh my God, Twitter might explode.
Bro, he's 38 years old. It doesn't matter what he does at this point. His legacy's fine.
Don't care.
Who's me guys?
You guys that hate this team and hate him will go on Twitter and just belittle him if he plays as bad as Tatum did.
LeBron's the GOAT. I'll say it. I'm sorry, spread. LeBron's the GOAT.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
I'm not in the camp to say LeBron's the GOAT. I think they're two different eras, two different people. I think both would be very successful in the other eras, and I just want to enjoy both of them. I don't want to pick which one is.
When's your politician?
Wow, nuance and thoughtfulness from your generation. I'm so proud of you guys.
Why can't I just enjoy them? But the take LeBron couldn't last in the 90s is absurd. LeBron was
stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've heard.
Imagine letting a 6'9", 250-pound plus guy just be like, oh, I could just play physical and just run these guys over. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's getting out of my way.
It's like magic on steroids.
Jordan would get buckets in this era. The dude would smash. But just like LeBron is. I mean, LeBron smashes in this era. It just
get this comment off the screen.
My biggest knock against Jordan's legacy versus LeBron's, and where I think LeBron can have the ability to overtake him, is the fact that Jordan quit to go play baseball, and LeBron's still doing it at his age, and if he just keeps pounding it, right? Let's say LeBron is 41, 42, and he's probably not going to do it. I think once he plays with his son the 1 year, he'll retire. But what if he doesn't? He just keeps owning. That's a reason to everyone wants to stamp the legacy now. LeBron's chapter to his book, there's each chapter. The whole book ain't finished yet. The book is finished when he says he retires. And I think the way LeBron ends his career matters a lot towards that argument.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think
if you break his career down into like stints, Travis, like all right, his first Cleveland stint, the Miami stint, back to Cleveland and the Lakers, you could argue he had 4 Hall of Fame careers in one.
Yeah, it's not like
today.
it is absolutely nuts. Like, I mean, the stuff Jordan did was crazy too. Like, but why can't we just appreciate both of them? Like,
the way I've come to this, like the arguing back and forth about who's better. The answer I've always come to is if I want a guy that just go out and give me buckets, give me Jordan. If I want a basketball player I'm going to build my entire team around, that's going to be my point guard and play any position I need him to, I want LeBron because he can do everything on the floor.
Terrible. That's terrible. Jordan was a 10 times better defender than LeBron.
Jordan had the best defender in the league standing next to him. I would love.
So LeBron has the best defender in the league standing next to him right now, and I don't hear you guys saying shit.
I would love to see the numbers of how many times Jordan guarded the best player on the other team compared to when Pippen took that option and he was just able to run.
If you watch the games, he always did it with the game on the line.
And LeBron doesn't?
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah, he's going to guard Steph tonight with the game on the line. No.
I want to see it happen so bad now.
I'm just picturing all this. I'm just picturing all the times like
in the corner,
LeBron was making switches in finals to guard guys and like big plays, and it's just like, nah, that's out the window now.
Yeah, Michael Jordan would be a modern day DeMar DeRozan in this league. I'm playing.
I almost hit the music.
I could agree with what Adam G says though. Braun is definitely playing better competition.
No, he's not. Your guys don't ever play. Every year, the playoffs are a minefield.
Our guys that sit like 35 games would still average more points than half of those mailmen that played back in the day.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
That's the most ridiculous argument.
I think they would.
All right,
I gotta segue to tilt Tyler. What happens when Jason Tatum wins Finals MVP?
I mean, it's just everyone's just like, oh, we knew this was coming. He's the greatest player ever. He'll be on the mic, like humbly, I'm the best player in the world. This little kid will be dancing around with his tongue out. Like
I can't wait to get Lakers.
Everybody will be telling us Mazzola's a good coach.
I can't wait to get Celtics Lakers finals. It's gonna be the dream scenario. I might just hedge the bets just so I can sit back and just put the feet up and just laugh and enjoy.
If you guys think I talk too much on the show, if you guys get a Celtics Lakers finals, that will not be happening. I'm gonna be sitting here quietly, just trying to get through this as fast as possible.
I will definitely come on a lot and I'll talk about it, Spread.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you guys will be showing up every day. All right. Fantastic. Are we ready for the best
here's one, Spread. Since you wanted to bring up John Stockton earlier, Steph or still on John Stockton?
Steph's better.
Yeah.
Steph's better than CP3, right? I said people saying CP3 is better than John Stockton's ridiculous when the guy's never made it through a playoff series healthy for his whole career. Like that has to matter.
Steph's the best point guard we've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree there.
Except for Magic, but yeah.
The reason no.
Yes.
No. The reason why I would not put the word guard is because then this brings up Michael Jordan. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have this conversation.
I mean, Jordan's better than Steph. Like, come on.
I'm just saying I don't want to have that conversation. I just don't. So,
Spread, you watched them all play. Do you feel like a better comparison is Michael Jordan to Kobe and LeBron to Magic?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. 1,000%.
That's I would say I've always brought that up, and certain people are like, no, you can't do that, and it's like, they kind of match up better.
No, yeah, that's why I always say LeBron's like Magic on steroids. Like it's just like everything but better.
Do you guys think that the Lakers match up really well against the Nuggets like I do? I think they match up very well.
No,
I don't think they match up as well as you think.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say is I've liked the Nuggets this year, and like I said, I think like this is like their chance to get it. They've impressed me more as the playoffs have gone on, for sure. Like their 8-man tight rotation is really nice and it's really complete. But I do think AD has the tools to slow Jokic enough down.
But here's the thing:
I'm not saying he's gonna like make him get 10 points. It's not gonna happen. But like I think he has the ability to slow it down enough and cause problems where his presence is felt enough to rattle the offensive flow and them the best of them. That's all.
But here's the thing though. If you do that, you lose AD as the roamer, where he's been so effective during this playoffs and during the bubble when they won the championship, which I give
them
credit for.
You don't need the roamer as much, I think, against the Nuggets.
I'm just saying it completely changes your defensive philosophy. Like now you're trying to play a different way. Anyways, maybe I'm just talking myself into something because
I will say 2 years ago, there was like this kind of like fantasy perspective. Like there was that Jokic fade in that series that actually ended up working in a couple games and stuff, like just DFS terms. And those showdowns would be tasty because AD's not like a true center, right? Maybe he's bulked up a bit and stuff. I don't know about the whole series, but you're right, Mangone. He can slow him down. I mean, especially for fantasy purposes, that'll be fun. But I respect Aaron Gordon a ton. What he did with KD, what he did in the first series against Timberwolves too. Like, I think the Nuggets match up pretty well. But that'll be a fun series for DFS.
I just remember in the bubble though, the calls were horrendous. I'm not looking forward to that.
That, and I mean, we've talked about it with Jokic with other guys in this league. After he plays them a couple times, it's like, all right, like maybe I could go this way instead of that way, and I'll have more success. Ayton used to be a guy that gave him a ton of troubles. Yep. He bodied that man for the last couple of years. And it's like, you talked about Aaron Gordon. It's like LeBron lost a step. The dude could defend Durant. Definitely in front of LeBron right now. Yeah. Jamal Murray's going to run rampant because I don't see him, little guards chasing him around. Michael Porter Jr. is roaming around. I think they match up a lot better than we think.
Yeah, they might. I definitely like the Nuggets team right now. And I definitely like rooting for the team that, like, I don't know. You could argue did it the right way, right? Like,
I'll say one thing, Travis. You give me enough, like a nice enough price on Denver when that series lines up. Like if Denver's like 3-1 plus 350, I'll be on them. I know we're not getting that.
What are you talking about? Denver's probably gonna be like minus 135.
Well, they're the favorites for the championship, right?
Yeah, no, the Celtics are.
The moment the Celtics won, they went from like 4-1 to like minus 120.
Yeah, Denver's plus 300.
Yeah, but I don't know. It'll be fun to watch. I hope we get Lakers. I mean, I know we're kind of burying the Warriors a little bit here, but I think they don't.
If we get the Warriors, I pray to God Jokic just bodies that team for four games, get him out of there. Just end it.
He will body them.
Nobody wants to watch that team win again, except for the guy next to me.
I'm just anti-Los Angeles Lakers. Like Travis said, I like doing things the right way, right? I mean,
you could argue the Lakers did it the right way.
How? By getting LeBron to go to their team just because he wanted to go do a barbershop show in Hollywood?
They got LeBron. They had some growing pains with him.
He wouldn't go to Indiana. He only went there because it was Los Angeles.
Yeah, of course.
So that's not the right way.
Yeah, but they had some growing pains at least. You know, they had some, maybe not all the right way, but some. Not the right way like the Nuggets, but they had growing pains. I mean, they won that bubble finals, but then after that, they missed the finals, right? I don't know.
Missed the playoffs.
Those were Westbrook pains. They weren't growing pains. RunPureSports.com is the best place for sports gambling and daily fantasy information. That's right. But we'll give you taste for free right now. Of course, members get access to all the plays. But we're going to give everyone a best bet right now. Guys, give us that thumbs up. We're here Monday through Friday, and I will show up and take my lumps even after the Los Angeles Lakers advance to the Western Conference Finals tonight. Tyler, what's your best bet for the day?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with 2 performance doubles. Our guy Joey's back in the chat. I know he's asking do we all take the Heat? I'm pretty sure we all did.
No.
Well, you're the only guy on the Knicks because you think that the ball is just going to magically bounce into the rim again like it did for them on every shot they took last game. Give me Bam, double-double and win. And then in the other game, give me the AD 25-plus points and win.
All right. You're taking performance doubles. Travis, your thoughts? Best bet.
Yeah, Joseph Work, I am sorry. The Heat are going to win. That gift I told you about a couple weeks ago, it arrives tonight. If you bet it, the gift shows up. Your plus money win, it's going to be here, but I'm sure you weren't on that side, Joey Work. So my best bet, it'll be, I'm going to give you a prop and I'm going to give you a side. I'll give you Lakers -3 for the side, and the prop will be Gabe Vincent 9.5. Spread, just join me on the Lakers -3. Let's get him the next round. Let's get Russell Westbrook a ring.
I might as well get paid for this discomfort.
Join us, Spread. Join us.
Yeah. Spread, just come on. Let's get Russell Westbrook a ring. Come on.
Rubio, your thoughts, tonight's game, best bets.
All right, so this one, same game parlay. And the reason being, I like same game parlay, especially when they align on an under. but DraftKings is only giving you 2 options for Andrew Wiggins, and just under on points and under on rebounds. If you went both with the minimum under, pays 9-1. You can even like throw in the Lakers as well. But this is if I think Andrew Wiggins sounds like he could be like maybe a broken rib, or maybe it's even worse than that. He might give it a go for like a quarter and be like, I can't do this. I like smashing the under there too, like under on 12.5 points and under on 3.5 rebounds. Hopefully that rib takes him out more than it does, and it pays 9-1.
All right. Yeah, I got to agree with you there. I'm going to go with Kevin Love over 1.5 3-pointers made, or you can go over 7.5 points. It's about the same juice, but I do think that Kevin Love has a better game tonight. But I think the Knicks cover the spread here. I'd be very careful about laying it. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was a game where we felt like the Heat were going to win the whole time, but the Knicks end up covering. So that's what you have for me here. But Travis, even though the show's about to be over, it's not over for all the content we're providing at runpuresports.com. I know you're doing single entry and 3max content, but what else is going on? And let people know a great promo code they can use to take advantage of the winning we're doing over here at runpuresports.com.
Yeah, they could use that code SPREAD15, get you 15% off. Do not use the code Rubio15. It actually gets you a really harsh greeting at the door at Run Pure Sports, so you don't want that. Use that code SPREAD15 and get you 15% off. And also, if you use that code Rubio15, you get stuck with those miserable sunglasses, which you don't want those things. So,
bro, doesn't he look like he's an extra in Top Gun right now?
I don't know.
Look like an undercover cop.
Just the high snow dies.
But yeah, anyways, so you get tons of content. You get the single entry 3max stuff that I'm doing. You get the premium show, Up the Lock show, which is awesome. JSU on that. Today, I don't think he's on. He's on the free show with me, but you'll get Holden, you'll get DC, and you'll get Steve Boynton. They've been crushing the MLB streets, so be sure to check that out. Big T is on that as well. You'll get his player pool. With Big T's player pool is absolutely awesome. So you want to be able to check that out. Tons of great content there for FanDuel and DraftKings. And hey, it's the weekend, right? And when the weekend arrives, we got MMA, we got NASCAR, we got all the sports going on, League of Legends, it's all here. So if you want to dive in, if you're a sports fan, this is the place for you. Again, code SPREAD15, get you 15% off. Code Rubio15, get you those glasses, and you don't want